All right, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Veil with the Bones and Conscious Evolution. It's been a while, man.
So,
It's been like a
yeah,
month since we were able. We've been scheduling the show and scheduling, rescheduling, and just shit happens. Life's been happening, and
shit happens. Yep,
crazy
yep,
energies, crazy time of year. So we
yes.
finally got together, and here we are. So welcome
Here's
back.
me is.
How
What
you
is?
doing, brother?
What's up? You got it, man. What's been going on with you? I know we like to keep it fresh. We usually just tell it like it is and what's up.
Yeah. Those of you new to the show, do have a lot of new subscribers recently. So this is something Bonesy and I created. I think this is going to be like our 24th or 25th show now. We
Is it?
started
Yeah.
back in the beginning of the year. I think it was in the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and it's something we really enjoy doing, and I really like it because it's a different perspective. We're on similar paths, but we're a very different generation, and I like getting
Yes.
perspectives from different generations. And it also shows people that there's no age restriction on what's going on right now, and in this
Right.
awakening, and what everyone's going through, experiencing. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're 15 or 55. It doesn't matter. And I know it's more difficult for someone like Bonesy, who's had a longer lifetime of programming and traumas and things to deal with, versus me, being in my 30s, only had, a lot less. I got 20 years less than Bonesy that I got to deal with. So it's a lot
Yeah.
easier for me to move through those things. And we work together a lot. We talk a lot about this process and healing those core wounds. And usually we do a topic driven show today, but I thought it would be appropriate to just do something like, let's just talk about life. Like, what's been going on? What are we dealing with? What issues and traumas and shit are we experiencing right now? Because I know so many people are going through a lot of changes, a lot of uprooting of lives, a lot of just complete paradigm shifts when you awaken to this what's going on, to this awakening. It's really life altering, and it's just
Right.
by changing your mindset and changing how you see things, your perspective on things. And that how that works in the family dynamic is it's difficult, because typically when you awaken, you're the only one in your family that's going through this, and everyone is ridiculing and judging and pointing the finger and blaming you, and you become the face of their pain, and many different dynamics with that. But so I just kind of thought that'd be a good topic for today to talk about, what's been going on for the last month, how we grown, what we're dealing with, and you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I know for me, and I want to say something to my subs who've kind of been waiting around. Little brief update on what's up. Pops has been, I'd say he's been in the hospital at least 6 times, 5 or 6 times
In
in
the
the
last month.
last month and a half, something
Wow.
like that. Yeah, and every time he goes, it looks, it's all the symptoms of a blood clot in the lung. He's dizzy, can't breathe. They keep saying it's COPD and anxiety. They're saying that he can't breathe, so he starts to have a panic attack. That's causing dizziness. It's causing him to faint, go unconscious and shit. So he goes home. A week or so later, same shit. He freaking falls out somewhere, ends up in the emergency room. Well, the bad thing that's going on is that I can't stand his doctor. I don't think she knows what's up. I don't think she knows what she's doing. I've been trying to get him to get rid of her for like 15 years. I just never have really liked her, but he's old school. He likes her. That's his doctor. He's not going to change. It's one of those deals where the older generation, man, they're stuck in their rut. They're not going to come out of the rut. Scared of that change, scared that something worse can happen. It's like, what worse can happen? She's got your medicines messed up. Something isn't right. And of course, what started it with her, she had him on pain pills after his wife died, my stepmom. It's probably what 15 years ago, I think. And he smoked weed. My dad has always laid out in the bars ever since I was a kid. Didn't quit up until he's 74. He didn't quit till about 4 or 5 years ago because he can't hardly walk. That's the only reason. But yeah, so he smoked some bud and shit with probably one of his buddies. She tested him, found out, so she cut him off the pain pills, cut him off his anxiety meds. So for 15 years, he's been, and he's in pain. He's like, he's built, he's messed up like me doing construction, his knees and his back. He's in severe pain. But
yeah.
Anyway, so he's roughed it for 15 years. Well, now he's old and shit. He don't go to the bars. He's not partying. It's time. He needs medicine, And she's still holding that grudge, or she's still making him pay because he smokes a fucking pot 15 years ago. It's like, bitch, get over it. Everybody in the whole country knows marijuana's medicinal. You know what I mean? Maybe he was relieving some pain, which he probably wasn't. He's probably getting high.
Yeah, he's probably just getting high. Yeah.
He'd always pick up young chicks from the bar and smoke weed with him. You know what I mean? So anyway, long story short, man, he needs his medicines. He needs the right stuff right now, So I don't think her medicine, I don't think what she's giving him was right. I think that, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, honestly. And then when you go to the emergency rooms, those doctors, they're horrible. I've never seen, it used to be, you really did. Doctors were like, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I've gotten older and smarter, but I always thought they was like really smart. They was like, you can Google no more than one. You walk into an emergency room, you find out more than what this guy even knows half the time. I mean, it feels that way to me. They don't have a clue what's going on. They're understaffed. There's old people everywhere in these emergency rooms. Old people filling the hospital beds. Can't hardly get him a bed. He laid down there for 3 or 4 days each time before he goes up to a room. So it's just a frustrating, so anyway, to my people, sorry, there's my rant. But that's where I've been, so it's been hard for me to really make a video. I tried to make one the other day, and I was boo-hooing, like type shit, kind of crying. I know you told me, you said, put it on there because people need to hear that, because everybody's having issues, because I've got other stuff going on too in my life, and the energies, like you were saying, everything was groovy there for about, I don't know, man, I was like gliding through the summer, going into the fall. Shit was like, everything seemed to be high frequency type ride for a second there. And then all of a sudden things started going down a little bit. But, and what started me, I did back off my videos a couple months ago. I was telling you, because I felt like I was going from one programming to another programming. I felt like I went from, all these years and years and years of, the TV, the churches, the parents, the teachers, all this programming they've done. And then I come to this awakening and realize, that I had been programmed, that I'm like, I can clean my slate, and change my reality and change the way I think. But then I began to, go on YouTube like everybody does, because you're trying to find answers to what the hell's going on with you. And, you start to see this and this, and, you resonate with this, but you start following these other people and listening, and you start to and it's okay to adapt some of what somebody's saying, or take some from this guy, some from this guy. But if you get into where, or at least I felt like I was getting into where I was listening too much and not finding my own answers, maybe letting somebody else tell me what my answer was, I had to get away for a second. And I wanted to stop making videos and stop watching videos. So that went on for 3 or 4 weeks. And then all this shit with Pops happened. I was going to get back on my videos because it was my year anniversary and the year anniversary for the reconnection. I wanted to give an update on that shit.
Yeah.
Which is all on the list right now. Like I said, I was telling you, I got to remodel my bathroom before Thanksgiving. So
yeah, you got a full plate, man. You got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I'm going to try to kick 1 or 2 out, though, for real. I am really, before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I got
make like a 5-minute video and upload
That's
it.
what I was
So
going
it'll
to
do it quick. Just a little. I mean, you'll have this too. That little rant right there.
Yeah,
that was perfect. Yeah, there's your update to all the subscribers, the Bonesy, which
Yeah.
a lot of them are, subscribed to Conscious Evolution also.
Yes.
So if you're just seeing this, I'll put a link below for Bonesy's channel. Go over there and subscribe. He's got some great content. he's real. You know what I mean? That's what I love
Thanks.
about him. That's what drew me to him. And everybody loves his stuff. So just check it out. But something you said with the watching YouTube, watching the videos, and you're hearing other people's truths, and you're resonating with that, and you take a little bit from here and there, but you it's easy to fall into the space, especially as a creator on YouTube, to where you hear people talking about something, and then you adapt that belief. But it's not from an experience. It's not,
Yeah,
it's you
it's
hear it, you
okay.
resonate with it, and you it's easy to take that, you
Yeah,
know?
I think it's okay to adapt that belief as long
Yeah.
as you come to that belief on a, through silence, through
Yeah.
setting in
Yes.
silence.
Yes.
That's what I needed, and that's what I did. I had to ground out and set in silence. And I put, and I'm a reader. I love to read. I read everything, and I have always have stacks and stacks of books. I quit reading. I quit watching. I just kind of went within myself, and then, like I say, this stuff started happening with Dad, and then kind of, so here we are. But hopefully, I'll be back and going back at it.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
So
The point I wanted to make is that you gotta take that and internalize it, you can't just hear something from one person and take that truth as your own. You gotta
right,
you gotta take that internal and sit with it and find your own truth, because that's why I tell people to do their own research, to not take my word for things they hear, to do the research, look into it, find it from multiple different sources, and put it all together for what and how it makes sense for you. And that way it
yes,
becomes your truth, and then you can
yes,
internalize that. So just that's something I learned through experience, because I was looking for answers like we all do when we go through the awakening. We're like, what the hell are we going? What's happening to me? Like, why
yes,
is everything changing? Why don't I like my career? Why don't I like my relationship anymore? Why don't I like anything around me? And and you start looking for those answers, which is great. But when I did it, I found a YouTuber that really hit home with me, and I consumed so much of it. And I was like hanging on every word of this person. You know what I mean? Like, I was seeking their permission to make a move in my life. Is this okay? Is this the right thing to do? Is this the way to do? Is it okay to make
right.
this? And I did that for months, and then all of a sudden it just, it hit me like, I know what
Walk
to
your path.
do.
Walk
I
your path.
Yeah,
Your
I already knew what to do, and I knew.
right.
So I then the next stage
Intuitively.
was to get the confidence to do it. You know what I mean? And we still seek for others' approvals. That's just how we're programmed, and it's hard to go from that to not caring what other people think about you, not caring and doing it for yourself. No matter what
Well,
your
it's nice to
brother,
see.
sister, mother, father say about it. It's your own path.
Yeah, it's nice to see the examples of what can be, what are obtainable, what is possible for you to choose. And it's like every single person out here is like a paint. You got a bunch of oil paints, and that's what they all are. You're painting your own picture. You don't want to sit here and get stuck on just this one dude who's blue and this other dude who's green and this other guy who's purple or whatever. Just keep, that's all your canvas is blue, green, purple, blue. Take whatever you need from that day. Boom, it's yellow today. It might be green tomorrow. And you're painting your life. You're painting your picture, man. So don't get caught up. That's how I felt like I was sort of, I'm over here, from all my programming, I'm in 3 colors, now I moved over here to these 3 colors, and that's groovy,
Mhm.
but I want to see what colors do I want to play with without listening to anybody else. I want to know, if nobody was talking to me, what am I going to do? What am I going to reach for?
Yeah.
What am I going to reach for without nobody else talking? What am I going to reach for? So that's where I've, sort of got where I felt like I need to, because I really went on a steady diet on YouTube. I mean, I don't know how much I was watching 3 and 4 hours a day of shit for like a year or two. I'm talking about like, that's all I ever watched. I never watched TV, so I'm constantly on there, and that I'm telling you right now, programs you. You start to believe, you start to think the way other people think, and that's okay to a degree, but that's not why I awakened. I didn't awaken to do that, you know. I awakened to find some kind of truth that 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 I've been missing, and I'm the one that has to find it, you know.
Yeah.
Which, you know, everybody shows, you know, this guy's got a light over here, this guy's got a light here, light here, light. So I see all this, I see all that's possible. I see the different kind of ways of thinking. I see a lot of things I got to choose from, and now I'm going to go and make my choices, you know. So
Yeah, we are all, there's 7 billion people on the planet, and we're all unique. You know, oneness is
different
not
perspectives,
sameness.
7
So
billion perspectives.
exactly, we're all a very unique individual expression of source.
Yes, a
And
ray of light. There's
yeah,
7 billion rays.
and we're meant to express and experience differently. We all have a different perspective of it. You know, there's no two that are exactly the same, which is
Right.
wild to think about.
And the reason is because the one is, and we are part of the one, and the one is experiencing everything through us. Why would the one have two of the same experiences? 7 billion different experiences, completely different, from high frequency to low frequency, from a rock to a genius to a light.
Yeah,
You know.
it's powerful to think that. But you touched on a couple things that I wanted to go through, and the one thing I said that I don't know. I heard this from Matt Kahn, and if you don't know who that is, he's a powerful spiritual teacher. Um, but he said something in one of his speeches that was, oneness is not sameness. You know, we all strive to like fit in a box, and we want to be the same as everyone else in that box, but no, like we can have oneness where we're all one, know that we're all one, we're all connected in a multi-dimensional way, but to be that unique spark of light that you are. So I
Right.
just, yeah, but
Well, if
when
you
you
can
were talking,
imagine light, before it travels the speed of light, you can just imagine it right here where it first starts before time or space. I'm talking about when it's all froze, before it bursts out, before it bursts. That's what we are. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But if you can imagine light before it moves, before it comes out, we're all that. That's us. This is us. Nothing is separated. Nothing is went anywhere yet until time and space. Here it comes. That's us. We're the rays. We're not separate. If you used to freeze it back in the beginning, if you used to freeze it, we are part of the one. We are the one. It's frozen. Here we are. It's until time and space. Now here we all come, and it looks like we're all separate because we're all different rays of light shedding, you know, spread out. You're a ray of light over here. I'm a ray of light here. We're the ray of light here, and we're all spread out all over. You know, so it looks like we're all separate, but if you take it all back, that's what we are, man, right there. The light.
yeah, we're all a part of source. We are all connected to it. And
Right.
it's
Yes.
like Case in one of his videos had the picture of the sun with all the rays, and you know, it's like
Yep.
he's like, that's me.
Exactly.
This
And
little ray right here.
I
You
love
know,
that.
like,
That's
I love
perfect.
that. That's such a good thing.
Yeah.
But with Thanksgiving right around the corner, and hopefully I get this video up today. It's Sunday the 24th, so Thanksgiving is this Thursday. You touched on a couple things like anxiety and panic attacks with your dad when you were talking about that, and I think a lot of people are experiencing that now too that may not have prior, and that we have such control over our bodies that and our minds that we aren't usually aware of. The fact that we have panic attacks, it's generated here. We
Right.
create that. You know, we're the only species on the planet that can take ourselves from a normal calm state to fear, panic, anxiety with a thought. That
Yes.
is how powerful you are. That's how powerful your minds are. And I think if people realize and recognize that they are self-sabotaging in a way, is they're not taking control of their thoughts and actions, or even just the thoughts. Let's keep it at thoughts, that they have control over that. So if you can recognize the point where your mind starts to drift to something that is like fear, something that you're not comfortable with, and shut that neural highway in your brain, because the brain's like this tree right here. It's all those different little neural highways connecting, and like this
Right.
this branch here is a pretty big branch. That's something you think about all the time. That's your thought process that hasn't changed. That's your routine. That's your getting
Yeah.
angry in traffic every day. This is what we do. This is
Yeah.
how I react to situations. And then it's, you have to change your thought pattern to rewire that, and then that will fall away. So the less you
Right.
feed into this strand, this highway, the less you think about that. So if you can catch it like right down here, and then stop that thought process from exceeding out
Right.
into the rest of that other part that's feeding the chemicals that are giving you that adrenaline rush for that anger and fear that you're addicted to, or any emotion. It
Mhm.
doesn't just have to be these. So when you shut that down and you stop thinking about it and you stop feeding energy to it, that withers away and it
Yeah.
creates a new one. So then now this will be your new lane that your brain is forming, and you can make that whatever you want. You can make that a happy play, whatever emotion that you can think to it. But if you ascribe an emotion to it, it becomes more powerful. So like this is something that I've been working on, is creating that picture in your mind. Like say you're meditating, visualizing something, and you can go through and have a whole experience in your mind. And that in your mind, it's scientifically proven that your mind doesn't differentiate between that experience you have in your mind and actual reality. So if you
Right.
have that experience in your mind and you are really having it, you're really in touch with it, you're feeling the emotions of it, your mind doesn't know that's different from actually happening. Your mind thinks that's really happening. That's how
Right.
powerful you are. So when you stop feeding into this fear or anxiety or stress and catch it, so when you start having that thought pattern stray here and you catch it and you can reroute it, and then this
Right.
this line here will die.
Yeah.
It's
And I'll
over.
tell you
It's like,
something.
go ahead.
I was just going to say that something, what's really important to know about that is, like you were talking about, your mind doesn't know the difference. What your mind doesn't know the difference between is if you're being chased by a bear or a lion, or if somebody's verbally, belittling you or attacking you. So what happens you're in your primal instincts, you go into a fight or flight, and your veins constrict, your heart rate goes up, your shortness of breath. Because you're meant to have this burst of energy where you can get the hell out or either fight. So your body, the physical part of your body changes. Well, when you are in a fight or flight um, way of thinking, because your subconscious mind doesn't know if it's a bear or if it's just your sister bitching at you or whatever, you know, you're constantly, now your body is starting to, you're getting disease, you stop a flow, you're actually going to have what causes disease is inflammation. And anytime you're constricted, anytime you have anything where it can't get through, it causes inflammation. There's inflammation, things, and that's where problems happen. And if you live this way every day and you're mad in traffic and you're mad at this person, and you're in this fight and this flight and it's just constant, that's why you got to let the shit go, man. You just got to be able to, like, whatever's happening, no matter how much you think about it, how angry you get about it, know how scared you are, nothing's going to change.
Mm-mm.
The shit's really still going to either happen or it's not going to happen. And you have to get into the mindset that is like, if it happens, that's just the way the shit was meant to go down. You don't want to, like, walk out in traffic. I'm talking about that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about, you can't sit there and stress. Like, you got a bill and you're like, oh, I just hope I work enough hours because they're going to shut this out. You're either going to work enough hours or you're not going to work enough hours.
Yeah.
You'll find out when you get there. But don't stress about it all every single day, every minute of every day. And you're just a wreck. And now you're drawing all these other experiences to you because you're on a lower frequency, you're in this lower like place, you know, and
Yeah, it
everybody knows
consumes
where
you.
you go, there's so many people who are dying for you to be their company. You
Yeah.
know, they're you go lower, there's a whole bunch of people like, yeah, you're here.
Yeah. And you affect everyone around you with that too.
Yeah.
Because when
Anyway, go ahead with whatever you were saying.
when we are in contact with another human being, when we're in that field, you know, our field is like 26 feet diameter around us, our energy field. So
Right.
when you are in an entanglement with another person's energy, within 10 to
Right.
15 minutes, your nervous systems, everything syncs up
Oh
to
yeah.
like it's proven like they measured a kid and his dog and they played out in the yard for 10 minutes and their heartbeats were in sync after 10 minutes. We
Right.
sync up with that on a neurological or like a nervous system level.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
wild to what the research has shown on that. And
Well, people, you can look back and just on your own personal experiences where you've been like in a doctor's office, you're sitting there and somebody comes in or on the waiting room, you know, and it's one of those real nice little happy ladies talking to the kids, and she's giving you a compliment and a compliment. The energy's real high. The doctor calls her in. You're still sitting there. Then somebody comes in bitching into the ladies. He comes, sits down. Fucking traffic, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole mood of the whole room.
yep.
And this person over here joins in. I know somebody cut me off, the dumb son of a bitch. Now everything just shifted from high frequency to low frequency with
Isn't
that.
it amazing that when someone comes in, like that dude comes in bitching about the traffic, you start bitching, and how everyone around will share their opinion about
They
something
will.
that
They
they
will.
want
They
to
will
bitch
bring their
about. But
frequency
when the
to it.
old lady comes in talking about, you know, giving people compliments and talking happy things, no one really joins in with that, do they?
Not for a minute. It
Yeah,
takes them a minute to
yeah,
finally, you know.
yeah. That's interesting. So, I mean,
It's
you're
terrible.
so quick to share what you're angry about, but you don't
Right.
share what you're happy about. Share what
Right.
you're happy about, and it's
Yeah.
like what I was getting at with those nervous systems. Like you can feel it when you get in touch. So your energy is literally contagious on a
Yeah.
physical level. So when you're angry and you get around someone, you're bringing them down if you're projecting. Not, you don't even have to say anything, just by your mood, your stature, your stance, like how your all your nonverbal communications. If that person it can read that, which most people are, because we're all kind of empathic on a sense that, and maybe not
Right.
realizing it, that you are bringing that person down. Like the energy's got to have a commonality to it. You know, you can't have one
Right.
and the other. Like that you can, like in a doctor's office, you can have someone that's a real like shining their light and someone really angry
Yeah.
coexisting. But if this person's giving compliments and this person's bitching, the energy's still going to stay towards that person that's being happy, as long as they don't sink down to their level. So that's
Right.
kind of like the challenge with Thanksgiving coming up, because we're going to be around family. Like I'm not, I don't, but anyways, but there, most of us go around the family that we don't particularly enjoy being around. You know, every family's
Yeah.
got one, at least one. Most people get together and share their stories of their bitching and what's gone wrong, and then you know, some people, and hopefully it's Thanksgiving, you should give thanks for what you're grateful for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you appreciate? And maybe you could be that person in your family to create that conversation if you don't have it. Like before you eat, that's, you know, that's one thing I did like about the ex-in-laws, or that they would go around and everyone would say what they're thankful for that year or in their life. And
Nice.
that's, you know, that's the way it should be. You should go, what are
Yeah.
you grateful for?
That's
What are you
good. I
thankful
like
for?
that.
You woke up today, you're breathing, you're having a new experience. Your senses are working, you know, be grateful for that at nothing else. But I fully trust the universe and source, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. I trust it so much that I know that everything is going to work out, no matter what
Right.
it is. And having that and like truly believing that enables me to not worry about little things. You know what I mean? Like I don't stress about the bill that isn't getting paid. I don't. It doesn't. You know, I know it's an issue and I know it needs to be handled, but it's not consuming me. You know,
Right.
I just know it'll work out, and it'll work out in the time it's meant to work out. and it'll all come together and it'll all get better if you're having an issue. If you truly believe that, you will be astonished at how quick you can turn your life around. I mean,
Right.
super fast. I mean, within this last year, I've changed so much, and it's, if you'd have told me 2 years ago that this was possible, I would have laughed at you. I'm like, yeah, right. Shut the fuck up. You know, like this is
Right.
that people really don't change, but they do. You know,
Right.
you can't change people. People can. It's an internal thing. That's something you decide consciously.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of
It
people.
starts with the way you think. That's all it is, man.
Yeah,
It's simply that, you know, and you, the power of the mind. I mean, it's just a lot of people really think, well, I can't change my circumstance. You know, well, have you even thought about, you know, changing one little thing? You know, have you thought about changing just one little thing? Have you really, really, really thought about it? Because you can change, and you just start with little things. And it does seem impossible sometimes, especially if you kind of got yourself in this, you know, because there's, you know, it's expensive for people to live out here. And there's some people, man, they're paycheck to paycheck. It's rough. And it's, you can't imagine any other way. You know, you can't, if you take a chance, if you get sick one day, you know, it's your lights are getting shut off. So, you know, I can understand and sympathize with some people, but you start with the way you're thinking, and you'll find, you know, I think that anybody, when it comes to healing, it's all about going within and finding the answers in your subconscious, man. You have answers inside you. This is the thing that I've learned over the year when I make this video about the reconnection and some things that I've been going through. You know, I've learned that everything you need is right here. You already know the answers. You already know what you're capable of. You already know how to change your future. You already know how to get a better job. You already know how to do everything. You really do. It's just you got to quiet everything else down, man. You got to find a way to quiet everything down. It might take 30 days of laying there in bed listening to positive affirmation. I don't know what it'll take, meditation, whatever. You got to find out what it takes. But you can, you know what I mean? You can find answers without anybody else telling you. That's what I've found. I've found like a lot of answers, a lot of things that, so many things that like I had no explanation for. I now have an explanation for it. And it's so crazy because I'm the one that told myself. Weird. It's very strange.
yeah. And if you think about a lot of things that you've heard, or if you question or have a question that you like are asking internally, you almost always immediately get a response, like
Yeah.
an answer. But we
That
don't
first,
trust it. Like that
nah.
answer is your
So we always
instinct.
second guess it. We
Yeah.
always second guess it and go with the second answer.
Yeah. Like, oh no, that can't be right.
That's why our lives are fucked.
Trust your intuition, people. Like,
Yeah, you got to go with the first.
yeah. If that's the first thing that comes, no matter how crazy it is, that's probably the truth.
Yes.
You know? And
Yes.
and if you don't believe it, if you question it, don't disregard, like don't discard that, you know, put it on the shelf or
experiment. Go
research it, you know, look into it, see what you find.
If it's telling you to go left, but after you thought about it, everything else is telling you to go right, but that very first thought you had said go left, fuck it. Just go left. What do you got to lose? A little gas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go left. See what happens.
Yeah. And that was the next thing. I wrote a couple of things down when we first started when you were talking. It was anxiety, panic attack, and the next one was what you just talked about was fear. Change. I'm sorry, but we fear change. We get so comfortable in our lives, and that's why I always say to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, so if you can be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, then you're golden. You know, and I would encourage everybody to try that. If you have something that you can do, if you have an experience that you can have that doesn't like that sounds fun, but it's like not in your comfort zone, do it.
Yeah.
I don't mean like go skydiving or bungee jumping unless that's but I mean, you know, whatever.
If it's just for this one reason only, let's say that I was talking about, you know, everything's telling you, and then you hang a left and nothing happens, the one thing you can take away from it is you're not a pussy. You at least had the balls to take that left and just see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you'll take from that. You'll be like, you'll look at yourself different. You'll be like, yeah, I got a little balls. I mean, let's take another chance. You know what I mean? And you start to trust. And then all of a sudden something happens, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, man. I trust myself, and it builds. And next thing you know, you're moving and grooving. You're hanging up. You're shucking when you should be, and jiving when you should be. And it's like, damn, I'm listening to the first voice and not the reasonable, explaining everything away voice that always comes after, my conscious mind, not my that subconscious mind is the one that's got the answers, man. And he's the one that spits it first, like, and it sounds ridiculous, whatever. Hang on left, you crazy. I always go right,
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yeah. You hear so many stories, especially in the last couple of years, of people say they had an impulse to stop at the Rite Aid or CVS pharmacy or something. No reason. They just like, oh man, I need to stop here real quick. They don't even really know why they're there. And then they come across somebody that needs a ride or needed help or someone they haven't seen for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason you're getting that. Case made a video about that too, where he was making this, he's got to find, people to buy this product that he made and blah, 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 blah. And he had an impulse to go for a bike ride through the woods with his dogs. And he was like, oh man, how fun would be great. No, I got to do this though. I got to do that. No. And then he got another impulse and still, no, I got to do this. And then he finally listened to it. And when he went, he met a friend of his that he hadn't seen in like 20 years. And this dude's friend, the friend of the friend, was a business owner that did the exact same thing he was looking for. You know what I mean? So they all got together. It's like, that's the synchronicity that you need to listen to. You have an impulse to do something. Do it. Just do one, just do once. See where it leads you. If nothing happens, at least you followed your intuition. That's your intuitive mind telling you, spirit telling you, your higher self telling you what direction to go in. You don't need to know why. You'll find out why. Maybe it's for no other reason than you needed to go outside and get grounded. There's a reason for it though.
Yeah, the reason could just be just to test yourself and see if you got the guts to test yourself. I mean,
and then when you start, it keeps going.
Yeah, because it will, change the way you start to think and believe. You're like, well, what have I got to lose, man? Why do I always feel like I have so much at stake if I do something wrong? If I don't, if I don't try, why do I always feel like I got so much to lose if I try something else or if I go left instead of right? Gamble, do it. Just see, man, it's your life. You're gonna regret when you're laying there dying, not hanging those lefts. I'm telling you, you're gonna regret not hanging those lefts, man. You're gonna not jumping off that cliff and doing the bungee thing. You're gonna regret, just all those things that you let fear stop you. You're gonna regret it. You really need to just go with it and live this life. You came here as a consciousness and took this body over to experience the shit. You come here to ride motorcycles, meet chicks, you name it, jet skis, jump off buildings, fall in love, get mosquito bites, you name it, everything. Mm-hmm. You want it all. You want it all. You want to taste it all. You don't want just the same old shit every day. Beef, corn on the cob, potatoes, whatever. You don't want that shit every day, man. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. Get in there and live and taste it. Maybe you don't like what you taste, but at least you tasted it. Move on to something else. Yeah. Just kind of change and broaden your experience. Live.
There's the program I'm creating is actually a way to change like your morning routine. I think that's so important. I think we all have a set routine. Most people that get up, go to work every day, they get up on the same side of the bed, they hit the alarm clock or the phone or whatever with the same hand. They get up, go to the bathroom. It's the same exact thing every single day, and to a degree, you should have some kind of routine, I guess, whatever works for you, but change it up. Like, if you shower a certain way, like the same thing every single day, do it different.
Yeah.
You know, I used to
Yeah.
always wash my hair, then my face, then my body, and then I'd just start washing my body, then my face, then my hair, just to do it backwards, something different. You know, who cares? Mix it up.
Yeah.
Just that little bit
Right.
is enough to change it. You know, it's like it doesn't. It's like back to this neural highways in your brain. When you get into that, like that's just how you are, and you identify yourself with that, and then it's harder for
Yeah.
you to get out of that. You know, you can change who you are in every instance just by making a different decision. You know,
Right.
decide to get up 20 minutes earlier one day, you know, and use that 20 minutes to just sit there and think about how great your day. I'll tell you, I guarantee you, if you wake up in the morning and the first 20 minutes, all you think about is how good your day is going to be and how great everything's going to happen for you today and how everyone is just going to love you. The universe is going to show me so much love today. I don't even know if I can handle that much love. It's just going to be so powerful. It's going to be so amazing. All my relationships are awesome. I'm so grateful for all the relationships in my life. I'm at the perfect point in my life right now. I'm exactly where I need to be. Today is going to be a really, really good day. If you do that for 5 minutes, it's really hard for you to then start thinking about the negative shit. So when you first wake up, you got a blank slate every single day. Everything from your reset. When you sleep and wake up, it's like a reset button from whatever
Yeah.
happened the day before.
Well,
But
see, that's what's so important about all that is that you're literally deprogramming and reprogramming on a daily, on a hourly, on a minute basis. And what happens is now you're in control of your reality. You're like, you know, when you get up and do every single thing the exact same way, it's just like if you was to click on like one of your apps that has an open menu, then that little thing spins, it opens it because it's a program. It goes to this thing, and that's what opens it up, and then the open screen comes on, then you got two different things, and you push that button or this button, then you go to that, and then it opens that screen or this screen. Now you have three other choices, and it's the same program each time. You know, every time you touch that app, goes to that program, goes to that program. Well, what if every time you touch that app, you didn't know where the fuck it was going? Now it's like a whole different menu, you know? Every time you touch that app, the menu's like, what the fuck is this menu? You know what I mean? Now it's a whole, it's not a program. It's not the same thing. It's not in that rut. It's not doing the same thing, you know? So, and that's what we are. We're like an app. We're just, you know, get up, do this, go down here, get my coffee, get my gas, get on the same interstate at the exact same exit, run 72 miles an hour with my, cruise control on.
mm-hmm.
Same shit. Get off. You do this. You know, cuss that guy. You know, same shit every day. You know, so yeah, you're reprogramming, and you know that's godlike. I mean, that's you know, being in control and creating your reality and creating yourself and recreating and recreating and creating and creating, dude. That's, you know, now you're doing something. You're actually doing something here on this planet. You're actually doing something worthy. You know, just
worthy.
you know, everybody going around this little circle and this little wheel, like a bunch of, you know, like a rat on a wheel. Man, that's not what God intended, man. He's trying to experience, you know, God's trying to experience everything through us. And what kind of experience are we giving him? Fucking boring ass, lame. You know, he's like, you motherfuckers ain't worth a shit. You know what I mean? I'm having no fun up here, man. Come on, guys, get some balls. Let's live. You know, so Alan, there's my other rant.
Yeah.
Was getting towards the end, so I figured I'd throw some couple left and right.
Yeah. Typical Bones.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing the morning routine, because you can change. In the first few hours of your day are the most important. That sets the first hour of your day sets the tone for how your day is going to be. If you're the type of person that wakes up late every day and rushes around in the morning, you're going to be scatterbrained all day long, you know. But if you get up and think about something, or even meditate, like if you're a meditator, you should do that within the first hour of being up. They usually say in the first 20 minutes, because you're kind of in between realms, you know what I mean? You're just coming back from your sleep.
That's what I like to do. I come in
I
here.
have trouble with that, so I get up and I'll take a shower and then meditate. Because
really?
If I meditate right away, I go back to sleep every time. I've tried.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do it because she gets up like about a half hour, 45 minutes after me. So the house is totally silent. Everything's dark and silent.
Yeah.
And I come in here and sit and I like to start my day, start my immediate thoughts off just like that way, clear, just let them run through, just let things run through, you know, just let it start here and go that way. And I don't see it no more. The next one comes and it goes through, you know, I just let them go.
Yeah, I just thought of this. One of the first things I did before even my awakening experience was when I had kids, I knew I needed some kind of private time, peaceful time. So after the kids were born, I started a new schedule where I got up. I used to wait till they woke up to get up, So I started getting up at 5 a.m. And I heard one of these influencers or speakers, talk about the 5 a.m. club, and that, you can use that time for everything. So if you typically get up at 7 o'clock and start your day, what if you got up at 5? Now you got 2 whole hours more of your day.
Right.
And most people are like, well, I won't, I'll be tired or this and that. Do it for a week, do it for a week.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
You're
it
actually not
changed
tired.
my life. I read in the morning. I do all kinds of stuff, and
Yeah.
now I'm trained. My body knows it's 5 a.m. It's time to get up.
Yeah.
Recently it's been more like 6:30, so I'm getting back into the 5 because I don't like to be in the same program, but I do. It doesn't, like, waking up at the same time isn't really a program to me. It is. Everything's a program, no matter how you look at it. But getting up at 5 a.m. is what I like to do, and that's how I best utilize my time and my energy throughout my day. And
Right.
doing that, it doesn't mean I have to do the same thing every day in the same order. I switch it up as much as I can, because we fall into routines so easily, and that we go back to that change, and we fear change. So we get stuck in that routine, and we don't think then we're capable of doing something else. So that's too much. It's too much work. I can't change this. I can't do that. That's how I used to think. Now it's like,
Right.
how can I do that? What do I need to do
Right.
to accomplish that? So it's a mindset thing. That's the difference between, the people that are extremely successful in this world, and the people that are just completely programmed and accept where they are in life. And some people may be completely happy with that. And that, if that's you, then great. Because to me, if you have achieved happiness
That's all it's about.
without this, like, extreme success, you won. You're winning. I would rather be happy than a millionaire, because what good is being a millionaire if you fucking hate yourself?
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
can't buy happiness. I mean, you can
No.
buy, like, temporary happiness or things that make you happy, but that's just temporarily filling the void that's really inside. So when you
Yes.
really got to fill that void, and that is success, that is when you are the wealthiest person in the world, and nobody can buy that, and nobody can take it from you unless you let them. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing this routine, because just these few things I mentioned are a few things that I do every day, and it has completely changed my life. I started doing it like 4 years ago, and now, I mean, of my whole road trip across the country, I was up 5 a.m. every day. I was
Yeah.
up before the sun came up. I watched the sun come up almost every single day when it was nice out. I was driving before the sun came up, and I would drive towards the sunset or sunrise coming up. It's just it's so majestic and beautiful. Like,
Right.
I love getting up before the sun rises, because I can then have an opportunity to watch the sunrise, and it's different
I
every
know.
single day.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
know.
same thing, but it's a little bit different every single day. And
Yes.
if you follow me on social media, if you're not, the links are below. Check it out. But that's what I post. I post pictures of sunsets and sunrises and nature and animals.
Yes.
Like, that's what I like to do. That's what I like to photograph, and I've been doing that for near a decade. And so I that's all you gotta do. Just a little change. If you get up
Right.
at 6 o'clock in the morning, get up at 5:45, and then the next day get up at 5:30, and then get up at 5:15, and find out, do something that you want to do, not that you have to do. Do something that you want to do, and watch how
Yeah.
you change. Watch how your life starts to change. Watch how you become more productive through your day. You're just generally in a better mood. As I'm talking, the
Right.
sun's just starting to come out. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's It's powerful, man, and we have the power to make anything happen in our lives. If you anything, you can do anything you set your mind to.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I
Yeah.
mean, you've seen it with athletes. You've seen it with, I say dudes that, there's this guy that fishes. He don't have arms, legs. Have you ever seen that guy?
No.
He casts with his chin. I think he drills it with his chin. It's the most amazing. It's the most craziest thing you ever seen, too. But there's guys like that who don't have arms, legs, whatever, but they are not going to be limited, dude. They, in their mind, they're going to do what they believe they can do, and they fucking do it. You would never think a guy, look it up on YouTube. Anybody who, it's crazy looking. But the dude doesn't have arms or legs, and he somehow casts it, and I forget how he reels it, maybe with his lips, I don't know. But the dude literally fishes like that, man. I
Wow.
mean, tell me that doesn't, take some kind of belief, you know what I mean? A kind of belief that's out of this world kind of belief, but it's the kind of belief that produces miracles, And that's what healing is. It's all about belief. That's the common denominator of every single thing there is, whether it be changing your life, being happy, or healing, is belief. Belief, belief, faith. It's all called faith. We all, in this little group that we're in, or it seems like everybody's in, we don't call it faith, we call it belief. But over in the Christian community, they call it faith. Over here, they call it knowing. Whatever you want to call it, belief, knowing, faith. It's when you are absolutely certain of the outcome of something, and you know for sure of the outcome of it, you already feel it. It just isn't here yet, but you already feel that shit, but you know it, whether you're going to beat cancer or you're going to be the best basketball player in the world or whatever it be. Boom. You believe it, you achieve it. It's just the human way, man. It's
Yes.
been proven for hundreds of thousands of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it.
So
That's a great place to
all
leave it.
starts right here because, like as above, so below. We are mental. The universe is mental. We come from mental. We come from thought. So thought is the most important thing that there is. If that's exactly what we are, if that's what we are, if that's what we're made of, is thought, then thought that we have is just as palatable, just as powerful, just as effective. You know what I'm saying? To create, because it's thought. Look at what God's thought has created. And now we have the opportunity. He gave us that opportunity, and we're made in his image, that we have thought. And we create wars, we create problems with family, we create, dysfunction in ourselves. We create false beliefs in ourselves that we're not worthy. And we could add ornaments to ourselves. It'd be better if I just had a Rolex or, Tag Heuer, and I'm rolling in a Bentley, and I got this bitch on my side with fake titties. And, no, man. No, man. No. If you really think about it and you get down to it and you get down to what you're all about, you'll find happiness, and you ain't going to have to buy it.
Yes. Indeed. I love it. That's perfect. Perfect place
On
to
that
end
balloon.
this. And that was awesome. I wasn't sure where I was going to go, but I really liked that conversation. It went really well.
I didn't know where I was going.
Can always count on the bones to have a good show. I mean, I don't think we've had a bad show yet, man. I just love our conversations, and I know it helps a lot of people. It's thought, man. It's thoughts, beliefs. We are not our thoughts and beliefs, but our thoughts and beliefs can create anything.
Right.
If you believe you are a successful entrepreneur and you start to become that, before you know it, you'll become a successful entrepreneur. If you believe it and want it bad enough, you can do anything you want. It's just a matter of
Well,
what you need to do to do it. Yeah.
It takes the belief to take the first step. I mean,
Yes.
you're never going to get somewhere unless you take the first step towards it. So the belief is the thing that you have to take that step. And then once you take that step, you take a second step. Now you're 2 steps closer,
Yep.
I remember when I was a kid, it was about 5th or 6th grade, and we went to swim across this lake. And we got halfway across, and I thought I was going to drown. And I was telling the other kids in front of me, I can't make it. I can't make it. The dude who was closest to me, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And he said, dude, it's just as far back. And I turned around and looked back, and it's just as far back. And I don't know what we was just talking about. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm already halfway there. I'm halfway there. I can't go back now. That's what I was.
Yeah.
That
Taking
was my
the first step.
Yeah, once you take the first step, you're going to get closer. And one day you'll be closer to it than you are farthest from where you was, or, you know, closer than where you was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in order to get past halfway, you got to get a quarter of the way or an eighth of the way, and you got to move, you know. So, and that starts with belief, you know.
Yeah.
I drank it. Have you ever heard of Shilajit?
No.
One of my subs told me about it. It comes from the Himalayas. It's like this little tar stuff. Look it up. It's called Shilajit, and it affects your mood. It's like it really makes you real happy. It makes you real. It's like it's got I don't know what all it's got in it, but it's like an ancient, you know, Chinese secret type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah, check it out. Shilajit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I can send you the link of the shit that I get. But man, it does. It kind of it's I don't know. It's just some good stuff. It's like little tar. It's like resin. Looks like resin. And then you mix it.
There's this stuff I found in North Carolina, in Asheville, that's called kratom, I think it's called. It's like a powder. That it's a similar thing. They actually have all kinds of different types, and you know, different ways it affects you. Just happy energy or calming or whatever. But I took some of that stuff before, and it's awesome. It's amazing when you learn the natural stuff of the planet and how good it is for you. You know what I mean?
That's what this stuff is. It comes from the planet. I don't know if it's some kind of molten lava rock, something or other, but it's got all kinds of micro and macro nutrients and stuff in it or something. And just like your body loves.
Send me the link for that. I'll definitely check that out. Very good. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. If you're still watching, we're almost at that hour mark. I like to keep it around there because I mean, we cover a lot of information here. So I know, so if you're still here, thank you for watching. We love you guys so much. We appreciate you. You guys are the reason we continue doing this and recording these conversations and sharing that with you. And I hope it helps. You know, that was our mindset when we started this. If we can help just one person, it's worth it. So I love you guys so much.
It helps. I think it helps me. I think, you know, because sometimes I feel like a teapot or a steam kettle or whatever you call it. I get to say stuff that I can't say to anybody else, and it sucks that you know, we're all spread out so far. But this is, at least we have this forum to you know, shine our light and see each other from different places. You know, because the circles I'm in, if I walk outside and the people that I know, they're not aware, they're not enlightened, they're not you know, going through the shit, and they're just stuck in the murk and the muck and the so you know, I get helped as much as I'm trying to help, so and hopefully, you know, blah blah. Legit.
Legit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember. Anyways, I got all my links below. There's a link for Bonesy's channel. Go over there, subscribe, check out his content. Follow me on social media. Go to my website, put in your email address, and subscribe to there to get updates, newsletters, discounts for healing sessions. Go to the Patreon site. Buy the What Would Consciousness Do t-shirt. That's my new favorite t-shirt, man. I really like it. I can't wait till I can order it.
What is it?
What Would Consciousness Do?
Oh.
Yeah. Check it out. Beautiful. It's pretty cool.
Did you come up with that?
I said it on one of my lives. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I was like, that's a good t-shirt. So I was like, what would consciousness do?
Yeah.
I kind of want to make a bracelet for it.
Yeah.
What would Jesus do bracelets, a little rubber one?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that on Teespring, but I'm going to check it out eventually when I have some time to do it. But yeah, check it out. I love it. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave a comment below. You can reach out to either one of us. And if you go to Bonesy's channel, his email there. I think I have a link to his social media site
Yeah,
on there
sub to
too.
my channel. I need some subs.
Yeah, let's get Bonesy some subs,
I
people.
need some subs. Come on.
He's gonna make a video. He promises all the time. He's
I am. I am. I am. I am. I always say that, but hopefully it makes it worth it when I come out with the juice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's anticipation. He's just building anticipation. It's his strategy. That's his YouTube strategy.
I'm like Barbara Streisand.
All right, guys.
I love you guys. I love y'all.
Be the change you want to see in this world, and most importantly, love yourself.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yep.